Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you the tools you need to mix quick setting joint compound. Alright, so the drywall is installed on the ceiling and I've applied the green glue sealant to all the joints. Now I'm going to apply a FiberFuse drywall tape, which is a matte drywall tape, super strong, open fiber structure for better bonding. This stuff is killer. So I'm gonna do all the flat joints and show you how I do that after I mix up the 45-minute mud. I'll be using a 20-volt DeWalt cordless drill and a paint mixer that you can get right in the paint section at Lowe's, Home Depot, or any of the big box stores, and also off of Amazon. First thing you wanna do is open up the bag from the top. This will help you control how much of the powder comes out when you're pouring it in the bucket, and also helps when you're done, you can seal the bag up real easy. So I like to pour the water in first. I keep a container of water so I can also control how much water I pour. And then just put your powder in the bucket. I'm going to do about a half a bucket here, so you want to put about what you think you're going to use, because it's going to shrink down a little bit when you add the water, and you can always add a little more powder once you get going. So you add a little more water after you put the powder in, start mixing, and you can determine if you need to keep adding just by how thick it is. It's a lot like baking a cake. What you want to do is mix it thick at first and then start to thin it. Otherwise you're going to get lumps and clumps, just like if you were baking a cake. You don't want lumps and clumps. So once you get it kind of going and everything's wet by the water, then you want to start mixing around the sides. Get any dry powder that's still on the sides and pull up stuff that's mixed from the bottom and continue mixing. You don't want to over mix it, so you just keep going until you start seeing the lumps go away and get close to the consistency that you're going to want when you're finished. Now, a lot of the hot muds have different times that you need to mix. Then you need to let it sit and then remix. The sheetrock easy sand is 1 minute. You need to let it sit once you get it mixed up for the initial mix. Again, keep it not quite as thin as you want for the final, because you're going to add a little bit of water in about a minute. So you're going to want to let it sit. Keep mixing. Once the clumps are out is when you stop mixing the initial round. Starting to look pretty good. Just get the top. See any little flakes of powder or anything? You want to mix it all together. If you don't follow in the instructions, it could set up faster than you want it to. Alright, it's been a minute. I didn't want to sit here and make you guys sit through that, so I'm remixing. Now I'm going to add a little more water to get it to the consistency that I want. You don't want to go a little at a time with the water. You don't want to put too much in, or you might go too far and it's too thin and the batch is ruined. Starting to look good though. I just go back and forth, bring it up, mix the entire bucket. You don't want any chunky surprises down at the bottom once you've got there. And you definitely don't want to overmix on the second one. You should have already been pretty close in the initial mix. Like I said, you can overmix this stuff and then the set times are way off. You just want it nice and creamy, pretty much like you get out of a pre-mixed bucket of all-purpose joint compound. I like to keep a bucket of water where I can clean off my bit or the paddle paint mixer, and then I'll just go from there. Alright, so it's ready to go. I've got my 14-inch mud pan. I love this little scooper. I've got all these tools that I'm using and all my favorite tools as well in my Amazon store. I'll leave a link down in the description. And here's the sneak peek of how I applied the FiberFuse with the 45-minute setting type compound. The ceiling was a little low, so it's about 7 foot, a little more ceiling, so I could just go ahead and work from the floor on this one, which was nice, to embed this FiberFuse into the 45-minute mud. I use a 6-inch taping knife Just kind of smooth it out, and just like that. So I've got a few more to do. Be sure to look me up on Facebook and Instagram, where you can post some pictures and tag me so I can help you solve problems on your projects. Links to my social media down below in the description. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and also the bell notification to keep up with all my latest videos. Thanks so much for watching.